Pete here with the River Kings. Today we're going to review the Haven Tent XL. So I basically just noticed this on my Facebook feed one day for a little ad Haven Tent had, and I thought that looks like just the answer for someone who wants the advantages of a hammock but really doesn't like the feel and the experience of being in a hammock. So this is the solution for a tent camper that wants to hang between trees. So I've had this product for a few months and I've used it in the field, and I've had a lot of people wanting to know, how did I like it? And I just got to tell you, I did like it. So basically you have kind of two schools of thought with camping and sleep systems and things like that. You have hammock campers and those other people, the ground-dwelling tent campers, Neanderthals. I'm not biased at all. I'm just calibrated, to quote a friend. And I know that hammock camping is clearly superior to tent camping in almost every way. There may be a way, well, no, every way. In every way, hammock camping is superior. In all my travels, there's only a few places I could not hammock camp. One of them was Alaska in the tundra. There are no trees. And there are places in some parks and whatnot that have restrictions on hammocks. So in those few circumstances, the tent is the answer for me. In every other circumstance, I love a hammock and will take a hammock 10 times, 100, 1,000 times before I sleep in a tent. But I know there are a few of you who don't like the way a hammock feels. Some of you just don't like hammocks in general, and that's the good thing about camping. There's a million ways to do this, and none of them are wrong. Well, some of them are wrong. This product is specifically designed to cross the bridge between the two camps. You have tent campers, you have hammock campers, and then you have the Haven Tent. And I think that this product here, the Haven Tent, is really going to be designed for someone who just cannot get comfortable in a hammock due to claustrophobia or any other number of reasons. They just don't like the way a hammock feels. Maybe it squeezes their shoulders. Maybe their legs can't get comfortable. There's people that just can't seem to find their comfort zone in a hammock. They prefer the way a tent feels. But this gives you the opportunity to enjoy the benefits of the hammock, which is you don't need flat ground. There's no pressure points. It's just more comfortable. You're off the ground. There's a lot of good reasons to be in a hammock, and this allows you all of those benefits, but it delivers that feeling of being in a tent. You're on an air mattress. It's kind of rigid. You don't have anything pressing against your shoulders and all that sort of thing. So it's really neat. So that's why I chose to review it. All right, you know me. I'm not the data guy. I'm not going to give you all the specs, all the lengths, dimensions, weights, thickness, and types of fabrics, unless it truly matters. In this case, I don't feel like it does. Let me talk about the performance and the features, pros and cons, if you will, and how I found the experience to be sleeping in the hammock. So when I first got my Haven, I got the regular size and found it to be a little tight on my elbows, pressing up against the sidewalls. P5 loved it, so he just kept that one, and I've got the XL here, and that's the one I'm reviewing today, and that's the one I recommend. I believe there's a Safari size now as well. So if you're a big fella, I would definitely recommend the Safari. If you're average to medium size, I would kind of get the XL. If you're a small person or are just really conscious about your size and weight of your tent, then maybe the regular size. But those are your three options. Here it is in the Tarp configuration. This is supposed to keep you waterproof. I went with just this on my camp out. It did rain 3 times, and a few of those times considerably. It was bone dry on the inside, so this system works. However, as you know, I'm a tarp guy. What this tarp does not deliver me is a waterproofness with a living area under it. Like where I'm standing right now, literally right beside the tarp, I would be soaking wet if it was raining. So there's no real good place for me to kind of live my life, cook a meal, change clothes, exist if I was in a camp situation and it was raining. So Going forward, I would hang my own tarp over this, a much bigger tarp. That's neither here nor there. This will keep you dry. You can put this out in porch mode and maybe have a little bit of room, but I'm kind of like, I just like some living space. And so this tarp does not offer that, but it is bone dry. The suspension I'm running on this is the Whoopie strap. They also have a webbing suspension. They gave me the Whoopie sling, so I use that. I'm typically not a Whoopie sling guy. I just like the buckle and webbing, like on my war bonnet. Prefer that for the simplicity, but they sent this, so I've used it. And so where the suspension connects to the hammock via the carabiner, you can just put your tarp in there as well. And it does not need its own ridge line. And in that regard, it's kind of similar to the Hennessy concept, where you set one thing up and it's all set up. You can also fasten the tarp to the tent via the toggles and the webbing loops. There's one on each corner, and there's also a little doohickey here in the middle where the little hook would go into that bungee loop there. Connects right in, no problem. And what that will do is keep the tarp from flying up in a high wind situation, and will keep you dry. The tent fabric itself is also waterproof, so any residual splash or rain blowing this direction will not come into the tent. So works pretty good. I must say I did test it, and it did work as it was advertised. Also, you have a bug net that can be completely removed or can be zipped on and off from either side of the tent. So you literally can come in from either side of the hammock, eliminating the which side of the hammock do I hang. So the Haven Tent logo is on the same side as the valve. And so that's how you blow up the air mattress. And I'll go over that in just a minute. But here in the hammock, you can access it from either side. I would just recommend maybe keeping that as your head. That way you just kind of have a good system to set up. And you also keep your stinky feet on one side and your head on the other. That can be important on long trips. Moving right along, there is a lot of storage with these net compartments. There's one on either side of your head and a big one behind the head or feet, whichever side you're using that for. They have the exact same setup on both sides of the tent, so it really doesn't matter which side you access. It's going to be the same exact thing either way. And a good air mattress that keeps a lot of rigidity, and that's what gives this tent the shape. So when you get in there, it does not compress around you. It kind of uses that rigidity to deliver you kind of a flat air mattress feel. Still has a little shape of your body to it, which is the beautiful thing. You don't feel like you're laying on hard ground, but you definitely don't feel like you're laying in a hammock. It's kind of its own unique thing. So this is the tent without the air mattress in it. It really does not have the shape or form that it should. The spreader bars are giving this a little bit of spread up here, and that does help. But basically the form comes from the air mattress. And that makes the air mattress a critical part of this experience. And that's an important note. Coming from a hammock camper, we don't need anything but the hammock itself hanging between the trees for that to work. With this product, you really do need the air mattress for this to be a viable sleep system. All right, so this is the bag that the air mattress comes in. You simply take the air mattress out, unroll it, and what you'll find is that inside is an extra flap which doubles the size of the bag. And it's got two neat features on it. On this side, it's got a little nipple that fits into your air mattress, so you can snap it together and use this as an inflator bag, much like you would do a pack raft, which, if you haven't seen the video, check out our pack raft series. Connect that nipple into your air mattress, fill this up, and just kind of blow it into the mattress. All right, so you got your air mattress deflated. There's the valve, and there's the nipple on the bag. You just put it in there and push until it snaps. Then you can inflate the air mattress that way. The other option is that you just use lung power and inflate it that way, which is another option, but I don't know if that really suits me so much. I wish there was something that would inflate this with minimal effort and minimal time. So this is the power pump. Comes with your Haven tent. You simply put it in there and push a button. Now we're talking. Let me put it in the tent and we'll blow it right up. So the PowerPoint is a rechargeable kind of sealed unit. It's not one you can put your own double A's or whatever in, but it does pump that mattress up several times. Just know at some point you'll need to either recharge this or maybe have to use a manual inflation or lung power. So the pump, if you're an ultralighter, you might want to leave this home because I know you guys cut the tags out of your t-shirts and cut the handles off your spoons and your toothbrushes and stuff. So yeah, this would not be an ultralighter friendly pump. Not too heavy, but I'm a kayak camper. I throw it in the boat. I never know it's there. So I do put 2 or 3 breaths of air in there to make it taut. The chuck valve keeps the air from coming back out. Another advantage to using the pump over just manually blowing it up or breathing into it is when you breathe into an air mattress over, you're injecting a lot of moisture in there. It's not going to lead to the longest lifespan, so the pump's just going to keep you from having to deal with that. So now with the air mattress all pumped up, there's basically nothing left to do but lay in it. Oh yeah. So if I move around a little bit, lift legs or whatever you do, you get a little squeaking. It did not keep me up at night. I slept like a log right through, so I thought it may be an issue. Wasn't an issue for me. So for me, that's kind of the important parts of the Haven tent and the kind of the overview. It folds all up into a nice, neat little bag. Maybe a little bit heavier, a little bit bulky than just a hammock. Probably on par with some tents, but it also has the air mattress included. So you kind of got to make all those factors when you're deciding, is this too bulky for you? Again, if you're interested in all that weight, size, spec stuff, just go to their website. It'll be all there. I just wanted to show you kind of how it works and how it's different from a hammock and how it's different from a tent. And it is just perfect for filling that niche. For the person who wants to get off the ground, the advantages of a hammock, but still have the feel and the lie of camping on a tent. So there it is, the Haven tent, a cool product. I give it a go. Personally, I think I'm still just a hammock guy at heart, and that's no knock on the Haven tent. I definitely would not want to ever take a tent over a hammock in any situation that I could avoid. But I would gladly sleep in the Haven tent and not think twice. I was comfortable. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I wasn't wishing I had a hammock. And I will take it again. I'm sure P5 actually preferred the Haven over his normal hammock. So if that tells you anything, my preference though is still just a hammock. I just like the way a hammock feels. I like the way it kind of conforms to my body. But if the hammock's not working for you, this is the option. Give it a try. Haven tent. You can go to their website, check them out. The XL, they got the medium, and I think they got the Safari now. So definitely there's one for you. If you need to solve that equation, this is the product that does that. I'm Pete with the River Kings. Give it a try. I think you'll like it.